And we're live. So, evening everybody. Captain here. This week we have Samantha Lee. Samantha, introduce yourself to anybody that doesn't
Hello.
know who you are.
Yeah, anybody that doesn't know who I am. My name's Samantha Lee. I have a channel called Samantha Lee's Originals, and I write original music and create miscellaneous entertainment on my channel. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think everybody that knows me knows you anyway. So I don't think
Yeah.
there's anybody that we don't know. We're just gonna say hello to a few people first. Hello, Angie.
Hey. Hey, Anne. Hey, Angie.
Two favorite people. So you're discounting the Canadian. That's good to know. Oh, look, there's the Canadian.
There he
So,
is. Hey, BC. Oh, boy, do I have some questions tonight. He's
so
funny. What's up, Joey?
yes, we're going to have some decorum tonight, Joy. So, hello, Joy. Hello, Dorito. I'm just here for the icon. The opposite bonus. Okay, that's weird and creepy, but that's okay. Um, oh, yes. So, if anybody has any questions, if you want to put them in the chat, I'll mark them for the end of the show. So, um, hello, Craig. How you doing? And Funkle. Oh, Miss Piggy.
Hey.
Hello, Miss
Oh,
Piggy.
hey.
So I just want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. And there's the man, the myth, the legend himself. Hello, JV, Mr. Friday
Hey.
Night, as I always knew him. So
Yep.
hello, livestock. Okay, so let's start. So say you see me do this. It's some daft questions, some serious questions. I'll answer what
Yep.
you want to answer. There's no pressure. So we'll start with a nice easy one then. What's your favorite YouTube channel? And I ask this every time because we all met on YouTube, so it's so and you can automatically discount part of your friends group if that makes it easier, so you don't feel like you're
Yeah. Oh, that's a hard question. I don't really watch a lot of YouTube outside of our community and our friends. Honestly,
right.
I don't spend a lot of time watching YouTube unless I'm, yeah, being social. Um, shit, I really don't know. That's a hard one. It's been a while too because I don't have a lot of time to
Right.
get on anymore these days. So I'd say entertainment wise, probably JV's Hangout's pretty good. I think he's a talented person, and it's always fun going there and hanging out with everybody and you know shooting the shit. So yeah, that's one of my favorites for sure. It's probably
Good.
top up there.
See, I'd have thought maybe we some other musicians, to be honest, just with you being
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but that would be Nothing But Thieves. I follow them and I watch everything they put out. So,
right. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, me too these
Yep.
days. So um, that's yeah. I say this every time. I At this point, it's still history stuff. I like the entertaining stuff. And there's a wee animated one called um, History Matters, and it's like sort of like 5 and 10 minute animated history things. Like it'll be the Revolutionary War in America and stuff. And
Hmm.
I like that sort of shit. So um,
Yeah.
Joey, stop asking sexually.
I like the
Provocative
crazy
questions.
stuff, like the miscellaneous funny shorts and videos, like pranks and all that. I like when they come through my feed. So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, look, I'm addicted to the shorts. It's weird and it's affecting my attention span. Because you're just so used
Yeah.
to it, and they're at most 59 seconds long. But if
Yeah.
one's 20, 30 seconds and it still hasn't got to the end, I'm already wanting to scroll to the next one. So
Sorry.
um,
I didn't think about it.
yes, Miss Peggy, I'm absolutely bashful. So um, okay, second
Yeah.
one then. What first got you into music?
Um, oh wow. My dad. he would play guitar and sing when we were younger, sit around and listen to him. And we had an old piano in our house growing up. And I kind of sat down at that quite a bit and taught myself how to play by ear. I don't read
Right.
music. I never have.
Okay.
I know how, but it's just it's a distraction more than anything for me. So, yep, my father.
Okay. Is he the only musical one in the family? Is that, or was there other?
Besides me, yeah, he was. Well, no, my brother's a drummer. He actually was Portugal the Man's original drummer. And they kicked him out because he wasn't very reliable.
Sorry,
He
what
kept
band?
showing
What
up late
band?
and stuff. Portugal the Man, they have that song, Feel It Still.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're a Alaskan band. I actually went to high school with two of them, John and Zach. So, and then Frank was drumming for them, and they went on the Warp Tour as Anatomy of a Ghost. And then when they got signed and changed their name, Frank was out. My brother, he got booted
Right. Okay.
because they couldn't count on him. So
All right. Okay. But
you win
so,
some, you
did your
lose some.
dad's musical talent, you know, transfer to any of your siblings then, or was it just you?
Just me. I'm the only one that writes and sings and plays anything except for the drumming that Frank used to do. He hasn't drummed in a long time actually, but I don't think since then.
So, do you think then it's you're naturally good at it, or you're a hard worker, or a bit of both? Do you think?
Oh no, I mean I wasn't. I mean I've always written songs, but playing them and performing them on my own was a challenge at first. I think the more I got, the more I played, the easier it started to get. Practice makes perfect, and
Yeah.
there's always room for improvement everywhere. So I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
improving today.
Yeah, I mean, I think even there's some good musicians in the chat there, and some people can just pick anything up and make something musical out of it, and
I know.
um, it's it's difficult. I've tried a few times with the guitar. I'm just too stupid to do it. I can't do it, and I'm too impatient as well, and
Yeah.
a little bit ham-fisted, obviously, But I mean, you see that obviously I'm going to embarrass him again. But JV can lift almost anything and make something, sound good out of it. And yeah, I keep having to remind him how much I hate talented people, but he's just so naturally good.
He
But
is.
yeah, I mean, you're obviously, I mean, if you've learned, if you've taught yourself and you're playing by ear, you're obviously, I mean, there's obviously, talent there. I mean, and writing songs and writing your stuff, that's a talent. You can't, it's hard to learn that. If it's not in you, you're not going to be able to do it. So,
That's very true. I agree.
so you have to have something there, So,
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of
So this
life
one,
experience, a lot of emotions to get out. It's my therapy. So yeah.
so a bit of the Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has to break up every time she needs a new album, So
Right. You better watch out with me. Don't fuck me over. You'll end up in a
that's it.
song.
That's it. So, um, so I mean, it's just so famous for it to become a meme now. I see it
Oh, I
all the
know.
time on Twitter where it's going, yeah, was it Taylor Swift makes her career on choosing bad men, then endorses Joe Biden, so it's just,
God.
talented girl, but at
Yeah.
some point she's going to have to write something happy, I
I don't
think,
know.
so,
Yeah.
um, right.
Falling out.
Question, um, question 3. So this one's a bit more in depth. So, what has been the best experience of your life?
Whew. I'd say uh, giving birth to my two sons. I can't pick just one, but
Okay,
yeah, when both my boys were born.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So outside of the stock answer, then, because every
Hmm.
parent always says
Yeah, they
it's the
do.
birth of children,
I
which is
haven't really done a whole lot. Honestly, I live in Alaska, so and I don't travel all that often. I used to in my younger days, but nothing really golden pops out at me. Dang. So it's a little bit of thinking here. Damn it. That's hard for me sometimes, especially when I smoke. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Was it maybe writing your first song, meeting JV?
Mm,
Since it's
actually,
JV
no, yeah.
loving, meeting JV.
Um, we had a song in the New York Times. Me and my buddy Zigzag. He's a rapper, and we did a collab for suicide awareness called "Please Don't Forget Me." That was pretty cool. It was pretty nice to be recognized that way. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's up there. Yeah,
Yeah, like I'd be honest.
small,
It's a
but
bit, yeah, it's a very difficult question for me to answer. I don't
it
have
is.
kids, um, and to be honest, it sometimes just depends what mood you're in. Um,
Yeah,
and in recent years, I'd say having the balls to finally go on YouTube has made a big difference to me. Because
yeah,
if I hadn't joined that one night, I wouldn't have made good friends and stuff. And
that's true.
so, but I mean, that's a um, relatively
Sure.
recent thing, and it's not like within the a landing on the moon or anything, but in my little shitty part of the world, that's it. Although everybody on fucking YouTube seems to think I'm grumpy, and that's just not true, JV. You know, not quite sure where that so there you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, and
Meeting on as well. So
yeah, that is
um
true though.
yeah, but look, and the thing is, you're only young. You know what I mean? You've been miles ahead of yourself. So
Mhm.
maybe it's doing a YouTube meetup in 2025.
You never can tell. I do have some plans to pop in on some people, but I'm not going to tell anybody when I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
just going to show
in
up.
in fairness, I did talk about it last night with Joey and Angie, and that um, I'm next year's too soon. The year after, I'm going to try and come over to America and meet a few people.
Yeah,
So but that's
very cool.
miles off. So but I'm only going to do it if I can meet certain people. I'm not going to go all that way and not meet you and Angie and maybe not the Canadian. I don't know, but JV and Blake and all the rest of it. So I'm going to try and get somewhere that.
You got to
The other
meet
thing is,
these
I'm not
people.
flying over just for a 1 night or 2 night visit. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
have to do more of it than that. So, but yeah, you're only young, still plenty of time ahead of you. You never know. You might win the lottery. And you can tell everybody to fuck off and go buy an island somewhere, So,
Right?
um, which yeah, oh jeez, that would be great. Um,
Oh,
I
it'd
keep
be
falling for
cool.
it. I did the British one, the UK one the other night, and I do it on the app, and I got an email in the middle of the night going good news about your ticket, and you can't check it the next day because you can't log on, and I'm already in work, and just and I mean, it was only £12 as it turned out, but you can't tell how much it is, so you still sit at work going, I could quit here. So it's tough. So um,
Not having to work, that would, yeah, be a blessing for
yeah,
a lot of
just
people.
think, just think if yeah, we'll get to that one. So in fact, well, here we go. This is the very next one. Then sort of stumbled into it. What would you trade for fame and fortune?
Hmm. My anxiety. I freaking hate it. It fucks up my life and it gets in the way of everything.
Right, okay.
That's, yeah, easy.
Well,
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, my vehicle, yeah, transportation. That's a better answer. I'll
okay.
walk everywhere.
Not
Fuck it.
nothing
I've
life
done it
wise. Not
before.
yeah. I mean, no major wrong decisions in your life that you think if I go back and change that, I could be
Oh,
rich and
yeah,
famous.
there's a few. Yeah, I would, but I'm not going to say those out loud.
Yeah, that I understand. So yeah, Ironically, with me doing a 20 questions show, I'm probably the worst one to answer questions. I don't like, there's way too much sharing of, you know,
Yeah, personal
um,
stuff.
yeah. Well,
Relax.
I think this is maybe slightly different,
Wigs.
but sitting on a panel, there's sometimes way too much sharing, so,
Yeah.
um, but, and
Oh
it's,
man.
yeah,
There's been times when I've
um,
been yelling at the family or the kid or whatever, and my mic's not muted when I think it is. That's embarrassing as shit.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
everybody's done that, so,
we hear you. Oh, I know. Fuck it.
no, so, um, let's move swiftly on. And so this is, so more in your music, sort of. What
Hmm.
artist, alive or dead, would you most like to work with?
Phil Collins is the top one. I love
Right?
him.
Okay.
Yes, yes, 100%. And then I don't know, alive. Well, he's still alive. He's very ill though. He's no longer doing music. So, um, but
Chris.
I'd like to sing with Nothing But Thieves. I really like that guy's voice. His range is so beautiful, and I am always harmonizing with their stuff anyway. When I'm
Right.
sitting there listening to
Okay.
it, I catch myself singing along, and yeah, that would be a freaking dream come true.
Yeah, because I think, because we have said and sure, them doing acoustic stuff and all, and I think
Hmm.
it's a weird thing. I just the chance for a musician to play with somebody like that, I think, would be fantastic.
Oh, I
You
know. I
know,
agree.
'Cause- yeah, he is. He's just phenomenal. So and like we talk about him a lot. Because you and I both really, really dig them, and like there's a lot of people going, who the fuck's Nothing But
Who?
Thieves, but
I know,
but
right? They're
yeah.
getting more
So
popular though. They really are.
well,
Their following
well,
is still
obviously
growing.
this time last week I was just home from watching them. They played Belfast, but they played 2 nights in Wembley Stadium.
Oh
That's
wow.
big gigs. Tuesday
Yeah,
and
that
Wednesday
is.
that week they played Wembley, and obviously they just toured America. So
We're getting Oliver Anthony up here. I mean, I
yeah,
know a lot of people like that Rich Man North of Richmond song, but yeah, it's
I
not for me.
I love that song, but I've heard all his other stuff. Not all. I've heard his other stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
mm, one trick pony.
They
I,
really
I
did lead with the best one. Like they
yeah.
started with this. Yeah.
And fair play to him. You know what I mean. Don't begrudge anybody having a hit and making money off it. And I like
Yeah.
the song because it is. I loved early
Hey,
Bob
my
Dylan
Vanessa,
when it
what's
was
up?
him with acoustic guitar, and there were protest songs. And back when protesting was like, it was probably more necessary now. But his hit a chord, I think, which is why it took off. And it's a good song, and it's raw and it's real. But the rest of the
Yeah.
stuff's crap because he's playing Belfast, and I'm
Oh.
like, don't think so.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I'll just it's not
I'm
for
gonna
me.
skip that show
So,
too. Yeah.
yeah, because
We
it's sort
don't
of
ever get anybody good up here, dang it. We don't, not
well,
anymore, not ever since COVID. We don't get nobody
well,
good up here.
I'll be honest. We rarely get a good band here. I've been lucky this year. You
Yeah.
know, um,
They make
I've been lucky this year. I've been to loads, and I'm really looking forward to. I mean, obviously, Ocean Colour Scene a bit. British band. They've been going for decades, and I'm looking forward to them. But you know, we don't get the AC/DCs, the
Dave.
Metallicas, the
Yeah.
bigger acts. It's just
The heavy
um,
hitters. Yeah.
yeah, we get bands generally on their way up, or to be brutally honest, on their way down, or just the older bands that are um that are touring on their reputation. So
Yeah. Like everybody
which is
that's in Vegas, pretty much.
but I mean
Vegas
that's great
performers.
for me because all the stuff I listen to is old. You know what I mean? That's why Nothing But Thieves is weird for me because it's unusual for me to be digging a band that's just a number one album and they're big
Oh
now.
yeah.
Normally I'm listening to stuff from the '60s and '70s and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
and
Back when
you
music
know,
was good still.
yeah, or maybe it's just because I'm old and grumpy. I just don't like any of the modern stuff. I don't like modern life at all in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, okay. So question 6, and Joey gave me this question, not for you. He just suggested one day to add it to the mix. What is your biggest insecurity?
I'm very short for me, and I'm the shortest in my family, and it's always been, a thing. Like I always did wish I was a little bit taller, and yeah, so I would wear heels for the longest time, but now it's like I don't want to bust my ass or break my back thing, so I have to deal with it.
Right, okay. But you're not that short. Well, you're
I'm
5'4", aren't you?
5'3",
5'3". Well, yeah.
3.
But
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay. It's short, but
shrinking.
it's everybody
Well, my
shrinks.
dad's 6'5", my brother's 6'4", and my sisters are 5'7" and 5'9". Mom's 5'8". So yeah, my
Ah,
nieces are they tower over me. Both my sons.
right.
Colin's
Okay.
almost got me. Aiden's definitely got me. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. But you have to remember, good things come in small packages. You know, and you've probably heard that about 1,000 times. But it's true.
Yeah.
It's
Mom
true.
calls me tiny. From the Elton
That's not
John
going to help
song,
with the
Tiny
anxiety.
Dancer. Tiny. Yeah, she
Yeah.
does. She's all, that's my nickname from Mom, is Tiny. So
Yeah. But I mean, it's it.
shit.
And like honestly, like everybody's insecurities are different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I have tons of them. I have very few things that I'm secure about.
Hmm.
I'm insecure about bucket loads of stuff, you know, but it's hard. You sweat over stuff that, what is it, the term immutable characteristics. You can't change your height, you can't change your eye color, you can't change. So it's like
Nope.
somebody freaking because I wish I had, because gray eyes are super rare. So you
Yeah.
can't. Girls grow. I wish I had gray eyes and stuff. You can't. There's there's certain things you can't change. So, but in saying that, I worry about everything. I'm a worrier. I'm a stressor. So I'm being a little bit hypocritical with it. So um, but
I I played basketball and stuff, and it was just always a thing where, they I was a post at first, and then I moved to point guard. But being a post, you got to be able to either have hops or be tall because you're getting a lot of rebounds. And it was hard for me at first, but I did. I ended up holding my own out there, and yeah, the
see,
height thing would
what
have
I have to,
helped.
of all those basketball terms, the only one I understood was rebound. I'll be honest. Um, I don't I don't know all the rest of them, but but
Yeah,
surely when it
that's where
comes
it
to
started.
the athleticism, the low center of balance, low center of
Hmm.
gravity, you must be good for you.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, I track and basketball, a little bit of soccer there, but it was mainly basketball was my number one sport.
Okay.
And I started playing in like sixth grade, and I didn't really improve and get super good until like sophomore year. And then senior year, our team sat first at regionals, so that was pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. See, to be honest, it's one of the things I know about proper football over in America is that it's massive at high school level. The girls especially play
Mhm.
play soccer loads over there. That's why the American national team does well.
Yeah.
So it's unusual for some. For me, the first one I've met that actually played. First woman that played basketball or girl as you were at the time. Um, Especially only being 5'3". There must have been some giants in that team around you.
I've got some photos somewhere around here that my dad kept, and I got them after he passed. And there I am jumping for a rebound, and it's crazy. It looks like I'm flying, um, and everybody's like right up with me, but my hand was on the ball, and so I was like, God, yeah, you got a good shot. I can look
Brilliant.
back on that. So it's pretty neat. I
I
had
didn't know
hops.
that.
I was short, but I could jump pretty high.
No, but fair play. Phil Collins playing on Robert Plant's first solo album, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
they said about
he
Robert
was great.
Plant's solo
Love Phil
career that better.
Collins. Yeah,
Okay,
he was amazing.
moving swiftly on. So this is a real serious one. Okay,
Yes.
so don't be smirking. This is a proper serious question. Okay, are aliens real? And if so, have they visited us?
I've never seen one, so I really don't know, honestly. And I'm one of those people where I don't believe everything I hear, and I don't believe everything I'm told. I have to see it to believe it, mostly, or experience something. And never really experienced alien activity, or yeah, I've never seen anything that's been convincing enough for me to believe in yeah,
Always, yeah.
artificial intelligence or
Okay.
aliens or
You
whatever.
don't you don't think you don't think they exist, or you don't think they've come here, or
I
both?
I they could be. I've never experienced it. They could be here. Who knows? But I've never seen anything myself to believe enough. Maybe. Who
Mhm.
knows? Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, I say this. I think they exist. I just don't think they visited us. I think all the same, because I think if they come here, Stephen Hawking said it. If they come here, they're coming for our resources. So
Yeah.
they haven't been here.
That's scary.
I think
Yeah, that's
yeah, if they
scary.
traveled all that way, um, I think all the so-called sightings and stuff are military experiments. I think it's all if it's not just somebody whacked out of his head on drugs or
Yeah.
drink. I think it's. I mean, especially with America being so big, and up in Alaska, there's Air Force bases up there. They're bound to be flying some experimental stuff up there out of the road.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, we've seen some weird aircrafts in the sky, but not UFO status, not yet.
Mm,
So, yeah, you never
yeah,
know. Anything's possible. So, yeah.
yeah, and it is weird that the American government keeps now releasing information. Oh, they're real. We've seen them and all this here, and it's just smoke and mirrors. I think So
I think they like to create a lot of distractions and
yeah,
diversions. So, that's all I'll say.
okay. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. So this is we're back to YouTube again. So we're back to the real world then. So what on YouTube disappoints you the most?
Oh, I'd say anonymous trolling. Like if you're gonna say something to somebody, say it as yourself. I don't hide, and I don't like those who hide behind an avatar or
Yeah,
a fake name, a fake account, I should say, and come at people. Say it
yeah,
as yourself. That drives me crazy. It's silly because I'm all for confrontation, but do it respectfully.
yeah.
Respectfully say it
You,
as
you,
yourself.
yeah,
And
I
there's
can't identify.
too much of that on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I'm always shy and quiet and retiring on panel. I don't like confronting
Hmm.
people, so it's weird. But no, I would that's a biggie for me. I also hate the fake niceness. That's what
Yep.
gets me. Um,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
yeah, that's why some people think I'm a dick, because I don't have the fake niceness where everything's sunshine and lollipops and everything's perfect and everybody's lovely and it's I love you family and I've got your
No.
back and all that, and it's nearly all bullshit. You
No.
know.
You fuck me over, you won't find me around you. Period. And if I don't
Yeah,
hang out with somebody, it's usually because they fucked me over in some way or another. So,
yeah. It's because I mean I found I make snap judgments about people, but I very rarely get it wrong. To be honest,
yeah.
I can't think of too many people that on YouTube that I went, now they're a wanker. That that 3 months or 6 months later, I have thought people didn't like me, and
Yeah.
and I've thought, I've been a bit standoffish because there's certain people I thought didn't like me, and then it was maybe just that sort of getting to know you period at the start of it, but I just naturally presumed that because I am just naturally unlikable, and I just that's the way it is. So, and it's but I get you that's if you're going to do it, do it. There's definitely. I mean, the hiding behind the avatar thing really busts my boiler.
Yeah.
There's certain people that I have never seen, and they've been on YouTube longer than me, and some of them are just complete assholes. And yes, one of them is Queen Kathy. I know some people like her. And she's never done anything to me, but that hiding her and being all high and mighty, and everybody seems to be afraid of her and stuff. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, I I've been bit by that one. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. No, I don't mean to throw one name out, but it's just
Yeah.
it's an obvious one that's behind. But there's been others that are now not part of our weed community that you rarely
Yeah.
ever saw. They were just hiding behind, and and then even worse, they would get drunk and abusive, but and then all spicy and threatening, but they'd be behind an avatar, and you're going, if you're going to do that, if you're going to be a dick, have the balls to show your face,
Yeah.
and it's a weird one. Raven's never right, JV, never.
I'll never trust anybody that hides behind an avatar again. I learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah, but it's not even that. There's certain people here. I mean, Lex in the chat. Lex doesn't join panels because he doesn't like being on camera, and I respect that. But he's always there in the chat, and he's, you know what I mean. I jumping up on camera and being on panel, but not showing yourself, to me is just suspect. I just don't like it, and I don't even mean there's family over, or I don't even mean I need to put my avatar on. I need to go and check my pot roast. I need to go to the bathroom, or but some people just come up and don't. It's
if I can't look you in the face, then I really don't know. Like, it's just hard as far as trust goes, and I did make the mistake of putting my trust in somebody that I've never seen, and I'll never do that again. So
it's a weird one. No, JV. JV's a lot easier to deal with when he's on panel. He's worse in the chat, because Angie calls us Waldorf and Stadler. We're both in the chat. So, but I mean, that's one of my favorite things on fucking YouTube's trolling my friends in the chat. See them lying in bed, and certain people, Angie's just so easy, and it's funny. It's one of my favorites, So, okay. Question 9: who's your hero and why?
Oh wow, hero. Jeez.
Doesn't need to be Elvis or fucking Jesus or anything. It could be anybody.
Oh, I don't have any heroes, really. I don't think there's anybody I look up to that much. It was my father before he passed, honestly. The sun rose and set with him. But he's gone now, so he's been gone for almost 2 years.
But he'd still be your hero.
Yeah, he's still my hero. You're right. That's true. He is. I mean, he was a very big and strong person, physically and mentally. And he taught us, to not pick a fight, but end it. And, he was just always respectful, took everybody in, I mean, he was always giving people rides everywhere, and he was just a very generous, kind, fun-loving dude. And but he didn't take any shit either. So yeah, he was definitely my favorite person and my hero for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's natural, especially. Especially for, I mean, I had a good friend in work. He's retired now, and I had 2 daughters. And I always said, "Do you ever regret not having a son?" Because he was a big football fan and stuff like that. And he says, "No," he says, "Never." He says there was a time when he thought yeah, I'd love to take have a wee lad, teach him how to play football, teach him how to, hit on women because that's what he was like. Um,
Ladies'
and,
man.
and take him over to Manchester, go and see United play and all that, but he says he would never swap the wee girls for anything because he says, you know what, the fight with their mom and the fight with me, but they're always daddy's little girl, no matter what. Always, and even at that, I mean, and then he used to crack up because they were. I mean, one of them's a doctor, and I can't remember what the other one was, but he says, I can't get them out of the fucking house. He says, and the wee girl started, she did 4 years, or whatever it is at university, started in the hospital, and the first question they asked her was, are there any nice doctors for you? Because he wanted, would you ever just get married and move out?
Yeah, let's spawn you off on someone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
But that's, so, but, yeah, so I do think because I know a lot of women that fight with their mum and would fall out probably with their mum, but they always go back to their dad. So I would say a lot of people say
Oh,
that.
we had our falling outs, I mean, we had our differences in life, but in the end, last several years, we patched it up. Um, it was, yeah, we didn't talk for a full year and a half, almost 2 years at one point. So we had our differences. It was
Yeah.
not perfect.
Yeah.
By any
See,
means.
I regrets about my dad because my mum and dad split up when I was.
Squirrel.
I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, obviously this is the most attractive panel I've had, but I've been on the same screen as Joey. That's hotness personified. So.
All of you guys are great.
But no, my mom and dad split up. I was only like 9 or 10, and I'm an unapologetic mommy's boy. I still look after my mom, and so I took my mom's
Yeah.
side in the divorce. And not that living with my dad was an option, but I blamed everything on my dad, and then when he died young, I mean, I was only 18 when my dad died, and I was only starting to get to know him a wee bit. Only really went for a drink with him once, and so I always regretted that, so
yeah,
that's why I always tell people just you have to make the most of these things, and
can't take people for granted. Period.
No, absolutely
yeah,
not.
you gotta hold on to those relationships.
Yep, absolutely. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 10: does God exist, and does He love you?
I'm never one to tell anybody what to believe, and I'd never push it on someone. But I was raised in a Christian household, and I did go to a Christian high school after I got expelled from 2 public schools. So yeah, like I said,
yeah, we'll have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, we will. But from my personal experience and my life and what I was taught and what I've, been through myself, yes, there is a God.
Okay. No,
but I'd never tell anybody what to believe. And that's just not who I am.
No, that's fine because this isn't a preachy moment. It just isn't. It's just a personal belief thing.
Yeah.
As of yet, I think Spencer from Embrace the Suck maybe said he didn't believe. I think he's the only one other than me, But in fairness, that could be just. I know Spencer, him and his missus just split up and need to move and all that there, so he could just be angry at the minute, But at this point, I think I'm probably the only actual atheist that I've had on my show, So, so right, we're at the halfway mark. So at this point, I always try and blag some free whiskey off Bushmill. So,
cheers.
It's time for a wee whiskey.
I once drank a whole freaking bottle of that stuff, and I got sicker than a dog. A whole bottle. And I blacked out, of course, but I got sicker than a dog, and I became mean. Ooh, I tried to fight the freaking cat. It was not really.
Some people are like that. My dad, ironically, was aggressive on whiskey, and cheers everybody. And it's one of the reasons I didn't touch it for years.
Yeah.
And my boss, talking to my boss, he likes his vodka and stuff, but he could be sober and have one whiskey, and within 10 minutes he'd want to fight somebody. He says he just knows to avoid it. It just turns him nuts. It's weird how one drink does that for so many people. Although I had a friend that couldn't drink gin. Says every time him and his missus drank gin, the two of them would fight like cat and dog all night, and the next day they'd look at each other and go, "What was all that about?" So ultimately they blamed it all on the gin. So okay, so we're at the halfway mark. Okay,
Yeah. Right
question
on.
11.
Going by quickly for me. Like,
That's all right. Say that.
I know.
Look, the Canadian bitches about this being too long at times, and I always say it's a natural
Oh,
thing. If it's half
yeah.
an hour, it's half an hour. If it's 3 hours, it's 3 hours. So there's no.
And I've had time and seen this before, so there's some questions I've already prepared for. So it's
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start changing them up then. I think so. But some of them are just silly, like this one. If you could pick one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I know this one. My son and I talk about this all the time. Uh, I would want invisibility.
Okay,
Yep.
why?
Yep. Because I feel like you could get into anywhere you wanted to, and people wouldn't see you. I mean, if you could hide from enemies, or just hide, plain period. Fuck, I want
See, I know why
to
most men
disappear.
want. Yeah, most men want invisibility because most men are perverts.
Like
You
be
know.
peeping toms, all that
Yeah,
too. There's a couple
yeah,
windows
Joey.
I'd like to look
Yeah,
in.
Joey couldn't decide between invisibility or X-ray vision, and it was both for exactly the same reason. So
Oh, that's too good.
yeah. Um, I mean, I'm not going to say the body part that Joey's obsessed with. I think everybody knows it. But yeah. So it was one or the other. Either way, it was just to be a pervert, which truth be
Yeah.
told, I quite respect. The weirdest with Daniel, for some reason, wanted to be able to dig big holes, which was the weirdest superpower I've ever heard. But
Oh
yeah.
wow.
So
Super strength or something would help with that.
yeah, it was.
That is so
Yeah, but then
funny.
he elaborated. It was, I'd like to be able to dig holes really
I like
quickly.
that question. That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Because some of them are serious and some of them are just daft. So
It's still
um,
great. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
But I'm
good
gonna.
one.
Yeah. I have to. I've started to think of newer ones, but I mean, obviously yours are different than I did the two. I did Daniel and Spencer's exactly the same, and a lot of squirrels were the same because it's what he does. He's a YouTube reactor and he's a comedy guy and stuff like that. And obviously some of them are music because you're Mrs. Music, So that's the
Yeah.
thing. So, okay. Question 12.
Yeah.
Who on YouTube has surprised you the most?
Ooh. Mm. Surprised me the most, like.
Yeah. In any way, there's no right or wrong answer.
Oh, well, surprise me. I hate to say this, but it's the truth. Um, I had two friends, and it was at the same time, and they hated each other. They didn't get along for months and months, and I felt like a rope in a game of tug of war, and they're both pulling at me all the time. One would be talking shit about the other one and just at me for spending time with each of themselves. It was Kathy Bates and Cody O. And right when we had our falling out, those two kind of shocked the shit out of me. Because I'm like,
Right.
and then I hear the phrase, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Sorry, that's the fakest crap I've ever heard. And I don't agree with it. I think that one of them or even both of them will end up hurt. And, it's not my business, but it was
Yeah.
like, damn, that's who you are. All right. Well, thanks for showing yourselves to me. Because it it shocked the crap out of me. I did not think I would see that happening at all. Never in a million years. Ever.
Yeah, but obviously I think that was maybe before my time, but yeah,
Yeah.
I I'll be honest, I was quite surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised how long it took for a lot of the bitchiness to show itself. Like I
Yeah, it
said
did.
earlier, that fakeness that people have,
Yeah.
and then you find out people are bitching about
Not
you
who they
to other
say
people.
who yeah, not who they say they are. And it's hurtful. It really is. Because I'm always myself with people. And, it does get me in trouble sometimes. But it's just I can't be fake like that. I can't. And that's why sometimes I don't come around because I've been taught if you're not going to say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And I just don't go around because I know I can't keep a lid on it. Nope.
But see,
Not with certain
that
shit.
statement worries me because if you can't say anything unless you're saying, what did you if you
If you
can't say
can't
something
say
nice,
anything
don't say
nice, don't
nothing
say
at all.
anything. Yeah.
I would never be able to talk. I just go up and look at the stage or the camera. You know, I just have to come up and mute myself,
Yeah.
or just
Exactly.
come. I should do it one night. No, can't only rip too much hair, but have roll it or big bit of duct tape there. But yeah, but yeah, I like that's weird because
Yeah.
I mean it took a while for that to register. I started in JVs and there was people there, and there was and then I found out there was that drunken prick from Londonderry who started exposing himself on live streams, but that's another story. But
Yeah.
uh, he was bad mouthing me behind my back and stuff. And I went, if you don't fucking, just come up and say it. It's just
Yeah.
and that fucking that when I first heard that, I'm like, it was only out of respect to JV. They wouldn't have jumped up on JVs and went, "You're a wanker," blah blah blah. But I've since done it. If I hear that other people are doing it, I'll just go straight for them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're right. That's bullshit. So,
Yeah. Well,
um,
I mean, and if somebody wants to try and patch something over or anything, it just makes it that much harder to do because you can't
yeah,
trust the person then. And it's just
yeah,
like, you say you want to like move on and let bygones be bygones, but no, too much has happened, and I haven't received any like real apologies. And then when I did, it was just momentarily, and it just felt fake and pushed and forced, and no, I'm not going to get burned again. So, you know,
yeah. Well, it's not even that. I mean, I know we can all make mistakes, and we can all be. I've said this before.
civil.
I worry a lot that sometimes that you know JV maybe confirm how many times I've said to him the Saturday morning that I overstepped last night because I know sometimes I go hard, be brutal. Um, and and if somebody ever says that was too much, I'll apologize. If I'm in the wrong,
Hmm.
and I'm not deliberately trying to be a dick to people. I just sometimes just being funny and joking with my friends. I mean, I give Angie an absolute death at every opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to, you know, um, so I'm not coming up to somebody I don't know and just going, haha, you're a wanker, you're this, your breath's bad, you've one tit bigger than the other, and I'm not deliberately trying to,
No.
different, and I've said this, if I do fuck something up because I'm trying to be funny, or maybe I'm just in a bad mood one night, which is wrong, I'll reach out
Yes.
and I'll apologize. That's different. We all do
That's
that.
the that's the appropriate thing to do. I think, if you're wrong, admit it. Seriously. And I've always been the person to do that, but I'm not going to come at you while you're throwing stones in my direction. No, I will
No.
not.
Because I
So,
think like that, you be like me. I don't forgive easily. Um,
hmm I
you
got to
know,
see
if
action. Yeah.
yeah, if I think somebody genuinely is um feeling contrite, if they genuinely, oh shit, I fucked up and I shouldn't have done
Hmm.
it, or I didn't mean it the way it came across. That's different.
Yeah.
But we're seeing too
It,
many people here that just week after week. do the same shitty, stupid thing, and then it's
Yep.
just to come back like butter wouldn't melt
Yeah.
the very next week, and it's just stupid, you know. So
Yep. I
um,
agree with that.
yep, Bushwell is just a wee. No, we don't spell it with an H. It's WEE. It's a wee
Just a
whiskey.
wee whiskey.
Although he's trying to, I know he's trying to put a Scottish tint on it, even though I'm not Scottish. Bloody weird black and white Canadian. Stop it. Okay, where do we get to? Um, See, and I think that there is an element to get to know people. I mean, that man there, he deliberately just does it because it's fun to him and he pushes your buttons. But once you realise he's just full of shit, then you just laugh along with him, you know.
Yeah.
And that's different than somebody just being all high and mighty and pass and arseholes. But I mean, you know me, that there's just some people around this community I will not spend time with, and a lot of it's because of
Yep.
that sort of behaviour.
That's
You know.
exactly why I haven't been seen in certain places. And I needed to take a break because I was under so much stress and anxiety and was dealing with a lot behind the scenes mostly. And it just wasn't healthy for me. So I really needed to take a step back, for a while there and
Yeah, but you
get my
have
head
made
on
your
straight.
comeback. You have
Mhm.
made your comeback. Okay, baby steps. You only went once so far,
Yeah.
but are you going to keep going
Yep.
live on occasion? You just going to go
Oh
sort of
yeah.
semi-regularly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, semi-regularly when I can, and when nobody else is on that I want to kind of participate. When I want to participate in the live, I can't necessarily go live myself. So
Uh,
yeah,
well, see that's a weird one. I mean, you've heard me saying to people,
yep,
YouTube, it's a big world. If you want to go live, go live. I
yeah,
mean,
just do it.
but I understand. I mean, I wouldn't if you say I was
Like,
off on a Wednesday and you were live on Tuesday night, I wouldn't just go, well, sod it, I'll go live too. I understand that, but sometimes you
yeah,
just have to go for it, because I only started doing this because JV took a break, and then Carla tried, Carla stepped in the Friday night, but I just said, well, it's either join Carla's panel, which I wouldn't do because she had too many cunts on it. And I told her that, it wasn't her, it was
oh
the people
god,
sitting on it. Because I didn't want her to think it was her. So I literally messaged
yeah,
her and I said, it's not you because I love Carla's been there from day one. I like Carla. There's too many arseholes on it, too many fucking weird, creepy assholes. And I just I ain't doing it. So I just went, right, I'm going to do something on a Friday night to start this nonsense, and you know, it, so it was either do nothing or not join Carla's anyway. So sometimes you just have to go for it. And yes,
yeah.
Joey, we heard you. So um,
Goofball.
I don't think I needed to highlight that one from Joey. I think everybody knew what he was saying. So okay, question 13 then. What's been the worst experience of your life?
Of my life.
Okay.
Oof. Oh, I when my dad passed because it was sudden and unexpected, and the way it happened was very not okay.
Right,
um,
okay.
yeah, he went in for a routine C-spine surgery, and the doctor opened him up 3 times in 12 days, and he had a blood clot disorder called Factor V, without
Right.
blood thinners. So there's a lawsuit, needless to say, and it it hit all of us so hard, and yeah, I'm struggling to talk about it now, but yeah, that was the worst thing I've ever been through, ever. Yeah, horrible.
Yeah,
I don't
it,
wish it
it
on anybody ever.
no. It up to this point,
Yeah.
uh, um, I would say for me it was my dad as well. 'Cause I was only 18. My dad got asbestosis in the shipyard, and he was given 9 to 12 months if he sort of stopped smoking and stuff like that, and he barely lasted 5 months, 5.5 months. I was only 18. I'd only just started working all the rest of it, and it took, it's a nightmare, So
I'm so sorry.
it's
Yeah.
difficult. I mean, I still randomly burst into tears out of some random memory pop up, and just
Yep.
watch stupid things. I was watching. There's a Northern Irish boxer. He was world champion called Wayne McCulloch, and he was born, grew up near where I was, and he was doing a TV show on BBC Northern Ireland, and he happened to be walking down a bit where I remembered falling out with my dad over something stupid. That we're walking the dogs. The dog knocked me completely arse over tit, and I was all annoyed, and my dad couldn't stop laughing. And I wouldn't talk to him the whole rest of the way home. And yeah, fuck you. And I was only a kid, and he couldn't. He just found it funny, and I proper fell out with him. Um, over the dog knocking me over, and he just found it so funny. Me being a child, and I was only a kid, I fell out with him. But
Oh,
watching him on that thing, it's just literally one night, just unexpectedly, because he's walking around and thing, and it just that popped into my head and just bawling.
yep. Yep.
Um, so uh,
Yeah.
it's it's tricky. I have a feeling pretty, next year or two, I might have something worse because I'm sort of watching my mum go downhill, but we're going to move
Oh,
quickly.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh, because we really don't want to cry on a live stream.
No,
So question 14:
try not
have
to.
you loved enough in your life?
No, I don't think so. I think, there's I mean, yeah. You can't ever love enough in my opinion. I don't I think I've only really loved, like, really loved somebody like maybe only once or twice in my life.
See, is that love somebody or being in love? Because I think they're two
Yeah.
slightly different
They
things.
are two different things. I'd say in been in love, but yeah, no, you can't ever love enough. Like I, I am a very loving person, normally, um, and yeah, I like to spread as much happiness and positivity and laughter. Laughter is a big thing for me. I think it's good medicine, and it's necessary, especially in nowadays. So yeah, I think love is the most important thing right now that we all need. So throw it out as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's a weird one for me. I don't love easily,
Friday
and I
night
don't.
throwdown.
Yeah. Well, Blake usually does the after party. So um,
It'd be fun to hang out though.
uh, I don't love easily, and I don't love a lot. So I'm not sure what my honest answer to that would be. A lot of people
Yeah.
would look at me and go, "No, you haven't loved enough." But um,
You're
but who knows? And who's to say what's enough? And I love my dogs and I love my family, and you know, um, it's that's enough for me. So
Yep.
um, well, for now anyway. So okay, question 15:
Feels, yeah.
where would you most like to travel to and why? Because you see, you
All right.
haven't you haven't traveled too much. You were saying earlier, so
Oh, yeah. I've the only country I've been to other than this one is Canada, and that's driving through the Alcan. I've been out of
okay,
state, but I've never really been out of the country. I'd like to go to Italy. Um,
right,
you
okay,
know, Yeah, my family, my grandma and my paternal grandfather were both Sicilian, and one was Sicilian, the other was Italian. And I'd like to check out the heritage. I've always seen beautiful things of it, and it's just something I'd like to do. I'd just love to check out the culture, and just yeah, I like grapes.
yeah.
So
So does that mean you're like connected? Are you like part mafia and all? If you've got Sicilian blood, you could be in the mafia.
there are things I could, but I yeah. I mean,
I
my dad and my uncle, they both got phone calls after my grandpa passed from people connected. So, yeah, that's why he was hiding in Alaska. Actually, my dad and my uncle are 2 years apart, and when they were 4 and 2, my grandpa Lee, he took off. He just left, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And they didn't see him for 36 years. Turned out he was hiding up here in Ketchikan, Alaska, on Kaufman
right.
Cove,
Okay.
and didn't reach out to my dad until he was 36. When he was diagnosed with cancer, he was like, "Okay, I need to get in with my sons, and I need to have a relationship with them." My uncle, understandably, did not accept and was not as, welcoming. But my dad has a huge heart, had a huge heart, and he went right down there and helped him through it and saw him through until his passing, and then yeah, took care of his property and all that afterwards. But I'm just glad they got that time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
See,
but
honestly,
yeah, he left because of some shit that went down. So
I almost laughed. I genuinely thought you were going to say the typical Italian answer was the mafia is not a real thing there when you started that answer.
Mm. No, I
Um,
know it is. I know it is.
yeah, yeah, that's
Unfortunately.
weird. So, yeah, so when he hadn't, if he wasn't mafioso and was on the run, you could have actually been over there.
Yeah,
You're born
could
Italian,
have. I
running
would have
around.
loved that. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
it's it.
that would have been
But you could
great
be,
if you would have
but
stayed.
you could be sitting on YouTube in Italy going, "I'd really love to visit Alaska. I love the snow. I want to go over there." You know?
I hate the snow. I know now that I've been born and raised in it.
Yeah,
I'd love, you always want what you don't got,
grass is always greener. Isn't
It's
that what they
true.
say? Um, but it's but at at least somewhere I'd love to go. It was always on my to do list, and probably for stupid reasons. Just I'm fascinated with the Italian culture. Um,
Yeah.
the Italian culture. I mean, wise guy culture because I love all the Sopranos and all that sort of thing, and
Oh, yeah, that
um,
show was cool.
maybe
But it was
stupid.
actually based off of truth, which was weird.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that the guy that owned the was it the Trashers? The reckon was
Hmm.
based on him in New Jersey, The Sopranos, which was a
Yeah.
weird one, you
I
know.
know.
But because the Italian cuisine is lovely, you don't get enough of it, But it's really nice. I love pasta and stuff, and their cuisine is just nothing like what we think Italian is.
Yep.
It's much healthier as well. So um, okay, question 16 then. What is your favorite band and song? And it don't have to be song can be different than the band.
I like Nothing But Thieves, and my favorite song by them is Particles, the acoustic piano version.
Yeah,
So beautiful. That is my favorite song.
of all time. Okay.
Yeah, I'll play it over any other one. Yep.
Yeah, I I'd be honest. I do love when I'm driving in the car and that one comes on because I have all four albums I just go right shuffle but when it comes
Hmm.
around the volume goes way up and then it'll get
Yep.
repeated. Just that you're right.
Yep. I love
Um,
it. It's a beautiful
yeah.
song. And
But
it
what about
builds
band then?
so beautifully. Yeah.
What about
A
band?
favorite band? Um, yeah, there's like Phil Collins has always been my all-time favorite. Um, I just always loved his music and his writing, and he's just so multi-talented. It's sad to see him going with the years, but yeah, he's my favorite.
Okay. With Genesis or as a solo artist?
As I liked him with Genesis, but as a solo artist, yeah.
Right. Because
Hey,
I
Peppers.
um one of my one of my first ever albums was The Invisible Touch by Genesis, actually.
Hmm.
You know, because I,
Oh wow.
I I've, I've told people I started off really cool. I started off ACDC, High Voltage, Queen, The Night of the
Hmm.
Opera, Genesis, Invisible Touch, Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms, and then I went through this horrible period listening to absolute crap. And honestly, I'll show you my collection of 7-inch vinyl, and it's fucking Rick
Hmm.
Astley and it's Tiffany. It's the some of the most ridiculously bad music ever. But I was a kid. I was only and you just um, it was yeah. So, but yeah, Phil Collins writes some great songs. You know, what I mean, a lot of his money he's made off other people performing his stuff. You know, so but another day in paradise. No, it's just fantastic. So, I want to travel to Arkansas, JV. What do you worry about that? I might
Yeah.
never do it, but I want
Yep.
to.
Oh, it is. It is so sad, JV. I agree. It really is. I'm
Okay.
still reading the
Question
chat.
17. Have you always made
Mhm.
friends easily? And
Nope.
is it getting harder as you get older?
Yep.
You
Nope
can't,
and yep.
there's two questions, so you can't just say yep.
Yeah. No, it's, you know, I've dealt with bullying since I was a kid. Like, and we're talking kindergarten age, and even before that, because my sister was my first bully, and then she'd fuck with all my friends and or potential friends and would just turn everybody against me. So it was just always kind of a struggle for me. But then, I just treated everybody with the kindness I would want. And that's, something that my dad taught me too, is treat others the way you would like to be treated. So I would always, try and just be kind to everyone. And I
That's it.
did gain some pretty loyal friends, but not big in numbers. And yeah, so what was the other part of the question?
Well, is it getting harder for you, or do you think it's getting easier?
Yeah, it's getting harder for sure, because I mean it's always been hard, but nowadays, especially since the pandemic and all, people just don't stay in touch as much, and everyone's just on the defense so badly, because there is a lot of hate right now out there, and a lot of really crotchety, upset people. So it is hard to connect anymore in a real way. Um, with people, especially a stranger, because there's zero trust. You got to build that, and it's not freely given; it's earned. And I do believe that the younger generation now, they have a severe entitlement problem, and they feel like the world owes them something. But guess what? Nope,
Absolutely.
it don't. And that's a lesson that some of them are just going to have to learn the hard way, if at all. So it's hard
Yeah.
hard to make
Um.
friends.
Yeah. It's weird. See, in real life, right? I'm terrible at it. You know,
Mhm.
I'm an acquired taste for people. You have to get to know me. You have to get to
Yeah.
know, and I have to get to know somebody that I can talk to. But I can't do small talk. I'm terrible. I'm still more comfortable in a small group, not a big group.
Yeah.
Maybe three, four, five, and go for a meal or that sort of thing. I'll be honest. This helps see this YouTube thing, but even at that, and I've told
Yeah.
this load, so I'm going to apologize for repeating myself, but I was in JV's chat for about a year before I finally joined up on camera. And I was just there so often, JV and Blake and all kept saying, come up, come up. And I kept saying, never. I'm never doing it. I'll never come up, blah, blah, blah. And, but if I'd have joined without getting to know them first,
Yeah.
you know, I would have just went up. I'd have been like a rabbit in the headlights. It would have been a disaster. And it probably would have been a one off. But because I knew them, because I've been watching them and talking to them in the chat and stuff, um,
Yeah.
so this made it easier for me. So this helps,
I get I get misjudged quite frequently. Where people will just take a look at me and assumes, "Oh, stuck up bitch." No, I'm tomboy that didn't get into makeup and dressing and styling until like I was probably in my mid-20s, and I have severe ugly duckling syndrome. So I don't really think, like it's just weird. Like a lot of people won't approach me because they assume that I'm some stuck-up person, but no. Yeah, so
See,
that's another thing
that's
that makes me.
because, and I don't know how I can say this without it sounding creepy, so I'm going to apologize up front. But it's because you're really good looking, and people are intimidated by really good looking people. They just are,
Mm,
because a lot of really good looking people are stuck up. They
yeah,
just are.
that's true. That is
But
true.
which is a horrible thing, because I mean you shouldn't be judging people
It's
just
a
because.
terrible stereotype.
I don't know, because I mean I've seen it.
I'm against it.
Yeah, I don't look I don't look approachable. Yeah, me and my brother go over to the gym, and our Robert talks to everybody, and everybody talks to
Yeah.
him. People look at me and they go, "Right, we're not talking to him," because I'm not Mister Happy Smiley, and I don't look approachable. I don't, and so yeah, I mean, people do make snap judgments, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. But that's all it is. But this thing here has helped me. But again, it gives me the chance to get to know people over time rather than just being through in the room, or you're going to the pub and there's some new people or you don't know, and then you don't know them well enough to talk, 'cause just stand and make small talk and stuff.
Yeah.
So I definitely think this has made me make friends easier, but only on this in the real world. I don't mean real life, but you know what I mean. It hasn't made much of a difference. So um, crotchety upset people. I want to get his tattoos. I haven't got that tattooed yet. So um, cookies. Well, I don't know. I haven't tried to
Cookies.
cookies yet. So question 18 then. Do you have any big regrets in your life?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. A few. I'd say trusting the wrong people, um, uh, giving my love away, uh, mm, to the wrong people. Um, and yeah, been kicked around quite often in life, but I always try and make something out of it. But it's just, yeah, a lot of regrets,
Yeah.
shit
Well, I
ton.
think everybody does. Everybody does. But
Yeah.
it's what brought you to this point, I suppose.
Hmm.
It's not what you're supposed to take out of this nonsense.
It's true.
But
So, yeah.
but doesn't kill you, only makes you stronger. So
Yep.
um,
Yep. This
but
could get deep. Peppers.
yeah. JV, that's not true. I ruined Friday nights for you and Blake and all. Um, Friday night throwdowns ended, JV's hangout ended on a Friday night, all because I
Yeah.
turned up. You know, drove off half forget. Honestly, if you look at JV's before I started joining, it was a completely different crew on it, and they were much better. They were much more interesting. Rod and EB and all used to turn up, and Micah and everything, and then I started turning up, and it all went to pot really. So okay, nearly there. 19. What have you learned about people recently that you didn't know?
That I didn't know recently.
Yeah.
Mm, well, oh, I don't know. Not a lot's happened recently. Um, well, they're not as friendly as they used to be. That's for damn sure. And you can't really
Yeah.
joke as often because they don't like it. And I'm a joker, so I don't know how I'm going to survive anymore. But it's just, yeah, uh, the world's gotten a lot more serious. And yeah, it's just not everything's funny. Hey, Seth. What's up? Yeah. I've always been the comic relief, and not everybody likes comedy, and not everybody wants to laugh. Some just want to be negative, and yeah, I'm seeing more and more of that especially nowadays, than ever before.
Yeah.
So it's
So I suppose
sad.
you got your eyes open recently, but I mean, YouTube land and maybe real
Hmm.
life as well. So,
Yes.
um, but at least your eyes are open now. You know,
Yep.
much more
Oh yeah.
cautious with things, which isn't a bad thing. So,
Yeah.
um,
No.
but oh no, fair enough.
Yep.
Right. So the last of the regular
Two
questions.
left.
What one thing from your childhood do you regret your children not having or doing?
Um, I'd say the want to actually go outside and spend the day out there playing. Like, it's literally what we did growing up. We'd find any way. My mom would shove us outside and lock the freaking door. She was done. So, like, we four had to entertain ourselves, and we did, and we were fine doing it. But nowadays it's like kids don't want to do that. And they're the internet and the devices and all that shit is just kind of taken over. And so I limit that stuff in my house. And normally, it's a reward anyway. It is the first thing to go. Devices are the first thing to go when he gets in trouble. And Aiden my eldest was definitely monitored on it even more. Like, his dad's super against devices and all that. But I just
Yeah.
wish that they would have more of an opportunity to go outside and experience, nature and, self-satisfaction. Like, yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I think maybe it's a generational thing because I think we've all of us have sort of said that. Not that I've any kids, God forbid, but
Okay.
um, but we were literally throughout in the morning. When you were off school, it was right, get out, get out
Yeah.
and come back at dinner time, and then once you get your dinner, it was right, get out again. I mean, when it got dark, you were told to come in, and then you sat in the living room with your family, and your dad picked what was on the TV, and you
Yep.
sat and you watched, stuff like that. And it sort of
It's
did bring you
true.
closer to your family. It meant there was more familial bond that I think a lot of and these fucking things here, I hate them. How much
Yes.
I use my music's all in this. So if I'm out and about, I put my AirPods in, and even just went to the supermarket
Yep.
today, AirPods, so I can walk away listening to my own music when I'm. But you see it now, even fucking two wee kids at the traffic lights hit the button, and they're both standing like this, looking at the fucking
Oh,
even when they're crossing the road and you're going, and then when you see the
yeah.
people in company
Enjoy
doing it,
nature.
it's
Look
like
around.
fucking
Yeah.
nuts. And we are raising in generation after generation of fuckwits now that won't know how to deal with anything in real life, Um, but
That's true,
yeah,
Miss Piggy. I do agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, definitely getting out, was a big thing, So, um,
Yeah.
well, see, yes, that's maybe true now, but I think it's because parents don't parent now, and I look, I don't mean that. I lived in one of the shittiest parts of Belfast during one of the shittiest parts of Northern Irish history. You know what I mean? People were being bombed and murdered and all the rest of it, but we still went out and played.
Crime's definitely raised, though, even now. Like, it's just getting worse and worse out there. So I couldn't imagine having to raise small children nowadays. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
but
glad my
that's the
kids are
thing.
preteen and teenage years.
But you see it now. If you're out at a restaurant, some other. I'm going to use the term parents, but people that gave birth, and their little bastards are running about annoying everybody in the restaurant.
Oh
And
yeah.
so many times I just want to. The first time we went out for an Indian, me and some of the guys, I want to go and punch this couple because the two kids were climbing over the furniture. And not only were they not stopping them, but at one point they're taking the phone off them to record them doing it. And all we're sitting going, okay, the kids are too small to hit, but we could easily just go over and punch you.
We'd get so embarrassed going to the store even with my mom growing up
Yeah,
because she was that woman that would tell other people's children to knock it the fuck off. And we
Yeah.
would hide. Like, no, don't get involved, and
Wouldn't
she
do
just
it.
couldn't help it. You don't do that to your mom, and it's just like, Mom, like, shut up, just walk on by. And she couldn't help it, though. She
I,
was a policeman in the store.
I I'm not, I'm not saying my mom raised three angels or anything, but we were taught right from wrong. We were taught. See, if
Yeah.
somebody that came to my door complained about us, we had to get, I had to, we had to get smacked before we got a chance to even say it wasn't me. I didn't do it. And then, well, after you've been smacked around the legs a few times, then you got a chance to speak. For
Yeah.
now, I think if you were to go to somebody's door, your son did this, you'd be threatened. You'd be, and just
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's ridiculous,
No,
Um,
it is.
but yeah, because I do think, and I like say I don't have kids, never wanted them, never, but I just think I would dread now. You know, what?
Miss Piggy said something in chat that my dad used to say that too. He's like, she says, I used to tell my kids, if you think you can act out, betcha I can do a better job. My dad was the same way.
Yeah.
Yep. He's like, I can scream a lot louder than you can. Yeah.
Well, there is that, but we just
That's
went out
funny.
and played football out there. I remember as a kid throwing a tantrum in the centre of town, and all these strangers looking at me and all, and one of them even said to, went over to my parents, my dad said, like, "Man, fuck off, it's none of your business," they
Yeah.
weren't, standing waiting for the bus to get home and all, and they weren't having it, so. Um, okay, so the last question I have then is the one we always finish on. What's the single best piece of advice you could share with the world?
Single best. Yeah. Don't ever go into nothing blind. I would say, I guess to add to that, just, to keep, just don't trust everyone. And not everybody's going to have your best interest at heart. And you get back what you put out there in the world. You put out
Okay.
bullshit, you're going to get bullshit back. You put out, positivity, you might not always receive it all the time, but I've found that you will receive it back.
Yeah, I
Not all
I
the
think
time.
that's good advice. The sad thing is, I just don't think it's something that's being taught enough.
No,
You
it's
know,
not. That's
you know,
why I said it.
yeah. Even you said earlier, I mean, there's so many entitled kids
Yep.
now. They
Entitlement
just
issue.
yeah, and
Big
they just expect too much for nothing. So
Nothing.
um, yeah,
Yep.
it's bullshit. So
It
so
is.
that's me done torturing you. So have you any one question you want to ask me?
Yeah, who's your favorite YouTuber?
YouTuber.
It's
Um,
not easy to answer. It's not
no,
easy.
I know, but I have to say, and it's not necessarily that he's my favorite, although it's because he got me into this thing, and it's not that his channel or content's better than everybody else's. I have to say JV, because if
Yeah.
JV wasn't doing hangouts on a Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the things he's brilliant at doing is he looks after the chat,
Yes.
and if you're just sitting, joining the chat and people are ignoring it, it's a nightmare. And JV's a
Yep.
good host when you're on the panel. He's a good host when you're in the chat, and that helps, a
Yeah.
lot. And
He's a
there ain't
horrible
enough
guy anyway.
people. Yeah. There's other guys do it that I think are brilliant, but
Mm-hmm.
just get too involved in this. Now, I'm not brilliant at the night because we're sitting talking one on one. It's difficult. I am trying to scan for
Yeah.
questions, You know, but I would say because of that, I would say JV. You know, so um,
Mhm.
and yeah,
He's
and
good too.
everybody loves JV. You know, he's one of those
Yeah, he's
guys that
getting all the
everybody just takes to.
praises
You
in the
know,
chat. Yep.
yeah. So
JV
um,
rocks.
so have
You
you
guys all
time?
rock.
Have you so have you time for a couple of questions from the chat?
Yeah, just yeah, I do a couple. He keeps
That's okay.
calling, keeps
No,
coming in
no, that's
here, and
okay. That's okay.
yeah.
Right, we're going to try and skip over some. It's only Joey's put them in, and we're going to try and siphon through them because you know what? Well,
Joey's
I'll just.
questions are only
Yep.
sometimes serious.
Does Sammy find me more attractive than Lone Star and Blake? Right, we'll skip over that one. Does Sammy want to see a grown man naked? Um, what's our opinion of adult relations at the Delta Lounge with people from Northern Ohio? Okay, let's skip over that
Goofball.
one. I don't know what that is. I don't know if
Oh
that's.
man, it was a long. The Bush Company. That was I'd have to say at least 10 years ago, at least, maybe even longer. My aunt worked there, and I brought her lunch. That's a true story. My aunt was a stripper, and I brought her some Subway. She used to work at the Bush Company, so
Okay, so is it a strip club then?
yeah,
Oh,
world
okay.
famous
No,
strip club.
yeah. Joey does speak in glowing terms of the nightlife in Alaska, you know, so it's probably what this one is. If I'm in Alaska, would Sammy take me to Coots?
Oh, we'd go. Yep, we'd have to
Right there.
check it out. I haven't been there in a long time, but yeah, I'd go. I'd go with Joey.
Okay. Um, so a proper this time, do you miss running live streams?
I do. I mean, I did one for the first time in over a year on Halloween, which was a lot of fun, and I am getting the itch to want to go live again. It's just been we've had horrible blizzards and power outages almost daily in the last week, and I just haven't really had the time. Um, yeah, so I'd like to though. I do want to start going live again, and maybe even regularly if I can wing it.
Okay. Well, I know it's tricky just whenever you could family commitments, you've got and
Yep. Mom
yeah,
stuff
and,
and
and
work
and the
stuff.
time I'd say it's a lot. The time difference fucks everything over because I mean I think you're about
Yes, it
10 hours
does.
behind me, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's 4:30 in the afternoon here.
yeah, you know it's tricky. So just quickly, Blake, are you going live after this? If so, schedule it. Put the link in the chat, okay, so everybody can jump over when it's over because we'll be finished in a couple of minutes. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
gotta
Sam, we get back to
go hit the
our
restroom and I'll
link.
come. I'll come say hi for a little bit. But yeah,
Um, okay. Has Sammy been to Portage Glacier? And what's the farthest north she's been in Alaska?
yeah, I have been to Porter's Glacier. Actually, it was part of one of our school field trips in the 6th grade, which was pretty cool. North, I'd say Fairbanks. That's where I was born, and I've been there for basketball. Actually, no, wait, scratch that. Fort Yukon. It's past Fairbanks and Nenana. Yeah, but Fort Yukon is the farthest north I've been.
Okay. I can't think of I don't know the geography that well of the Great White North, you know what I mean? I can only name you about two towns. Um I know of the Yukon from watching Due South back in the day. You know, remember the thing about the Mountie that went down to Chicago?
Hmm.
Um and that's probably about the height of it, you know. So um
Yeah.
yeah, Blake, get it scheduled quickly and put the link in, even if you schedule it for half an hour from now. Just do what you're fucking told for a change. So
Yeah.
so that's that. Well, I mean, the last stupid one from Joey. Um, Joey's the only one to put any questions in, which is unusual. So, but they're nearly all
Who's
rude.
just
So,
from Arkansas? What the fuck? I don't know if I know anybody from Arkansas on YouTube. Maybe. And if I'm
you know
forgetting
two.
about them,
Well,
I'm
I know
sorry.
two. I know two.
Arkansas?
JV and
Is
Blake
it JV? Yeah. Oh,
and Blake.
Blake. Okay. I didn't know he was in Arkansas. That's probably my fault, though.
Okay.
Third favorite person. My grandma used to live there, but she just moved in with my mom
Okay.
in
So
Alabama.
JV. Okay. JV's
What's your
a
favorite
question. Where?
song
What
you
you?
wrote? A favorite? Oh, that's so hard because I got 150, bro. At least. I gotta pick one. I'd say yeah, one of the newer ones probably. Yeah, I'd say Still Don't Have the Words is one of the more realer ones that I've written, and very close to my heart and my it's close to me. It's a pretty song. I really like that one. So
See,
I'd
I
say it's
obviously
that.
don't know your entire catalog, especially now that I found out you have 150 songs. But
I
yeah,
do.
about this time last year, you put one out that we all really like. Was it doesn't feel like Christmas yet? You
Oh
know.
yeah, I need to redo that though because I was very sick when I recorded that song, and I want to redo it on the keyboard and see how it sounds. So that was
Yeah,
something that I was planning on doing this holiday season.
yeah,
So
that was, and I suppose you have to. It's coming up to Christmas soon, so I think
yep,
it'd
I'm
be a
getting
shame
to
not to
it.
do it. Yeah, get a short out of it. Get
Yeah,
I know you're on TikTok, but I know you're on Instagram, and even if you're going to redo it and stick it out your channel again. So, right. So,
yeah.
last question
I've been
before, and then we'll let you go, Miss Piggy.
okay.
So, do you get your
Yeah,
mannerisms
I
from your dad?
answered that in the chat for her. Yes, I do. I do.
Ah,
But I think that equally from dad and a little bit of my mom's mannerisms. Like I get my cleanliness from her. Definitely take my aggressions out on the house and the cleaning. Like I get crazy with it. So that's something that I picked up from her. Um, and yeah, like just the way I treat people and the way that, you know, I guess my sense of humor and such, I definitely got from my father 100%. Yeah. The whole
okay.
do unto others attitude.
No, fair play. So I did say that was the last one, but then BC put a silly one in. So, if you were an ice cream,
She
which
make
flavor would
would she be
you
to
like in the
make me
jar?
a jar? Oh, I don't know. Um,
Well, you knew he was going to come up with something stupid. So,
Kind of a question for somebody else, I would say. Not me. I don't taste myself, I guess. Like fucking
uh,
salt and salty skin.
okay. I don't think that's the answer he was expecting. Yeah. Um.
Nut butter.
So,
No, just kidding. What?
uh, no, just we'll wrap it up there. So it's about the hour and a half, which is great. So, um, there's the link for Blake. So Blake's going to go live at some point. So we're all
Which one,
going to
Mayberry?
join. So thank
All
you,
right.
Sam,
We'll
for
see you
doing
guys
this.
over there. Thank you, Cap. It's
Um,
been a lot of fun. Hey, Luch.
yeah.
Thank you, guys. Everybody's just awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So
You
thank
guys have
you,
all been great.
everybody in the chat. I'm not going to try and name everybody. There's been quite a few jumping in and out tonight, which is
There's
great.
some cool
So
peeps in here tonight. Everybody's
yeah,
equally awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So thanks everybody. I'll be jumping over at
Thank you, Cap.
some point soon to
Yeah.
on breaks, so we'll hang out there for a bit. So um next
Happy
week it
holidays, everybody.
is next week will be a weird one. It's that I can't remember his name. He's this weird Canadian bloke. He's got this.
Oh, whatever. That's gonna
Yeah,
be a good one, though. I think
yeah.
BC is gonna be the one of the funnest. Squirrels
Well, we'll
was
see.
really entertaining. JV's
Yeah,
was Everybody's
yeah,
has been awesome. I honestly think that this is a really cool thing that you have going here, and I can't wait to see the other ones. So
yeah. Again,
yeah,
if I'll be honest, if I didn't enjoy the first one, I wouldn't come back to do it, and I've enjoyed every
yeah,
single one of them. So
you got to
having
test it
Daniel on
out
was
first.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's why it was Joey. Joey the first time he was my guinea pig, and I thought it worked, and then drag
Joey
JV.
makes any talk show interesting, though.
JV, for considering how much he's on YouTube, was really nervous about doing a one-on-one. With me asking him questions, which was weird because he's the one that was on YouTube more than anybody that I hung with. So, um, but
Yeah.
Anyway, so
This
right,
has been awesome.
Sam, thanks a lot. Thanks everybody in the chat,
Much love,
and I'll see
everybody.
some
Thank
of
you,
you
Cap.
somewhere soon. Okay, bye
Yeah.
everybody.
See you guys soon. Bye.